claim drafting exercise, what we'll do is to divide you into perhaps 5 groups, and as a group, you will come up with a couple claims, and then each group will select someone to present the claim from their group, and we'll pick a winning group at the end with the best claim. We do have rewards. See, my wife is a teacher, and she told me if you have exercises, you have to have prizes. That's rule number 1 in conducting a seminar. We have, for the actual invention in this case, I call it the multi-function feeding tool. It has a spoon, a fork, and a knife. I'll talk about this later, but I have some extra of those. That's one prize. And then, as you may have heard, we have a new president in the United States who has African roots. So I have a bunch of inauguration buttons. So that's another choice for prizes. So I expect this will provide some motivation to excel in the exercise. You can either get a multi-function feeding tool or a President Obama button.
President Obama.
Well, it's funny, just a short side story. Last year the program was in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. And I was anxious to look for a T-shirt or something like that that's representative of Ethiopia. Everywhere we went, T-shirts of Barack Obama. So that's what I found. So we'll start with. I'll start by describing the invention. You can see. The print may be too small to read very well from where you're seated, but. The key parts of this tool, you have 2 ends. You have the spoon end and the fork end. The part in the middle that you hold, this is the handle. And then in the fork end, you have 4 prongs, and you have a serrated edge along one of the outer prongs that you can use as a knife to cut your food. And what I want you to do in the claims is to start with one broad apparatus claim describing this device. So, as you should remember, in the claim, you start with the preamble, then you have the transition phrase, then you have the body of the claim where you recite the different elements of the product. And then the other part, which is important, is that you then must have some language showing how these parts are connected. Not just listing the different parts, but somehow tying them together in terms of how they're connected or where they're positioned. I'll leave that choice to you. Since this is the first exercise, we'll grant you a lot of leeway in terms of making mistakes. But what we'll want to see is that with each new exercise, you improve upon the previous exercise. So by the time we get to the end, then you will all become expert claim drafters.